What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the GITM podcast.
We're talking soup.
We're talking soup and a little conspiracy about presidents. Eventually, we'll get to it.
We've already confirmed. Potato soup, good. Beef stew, good. Chicken noodle, good. Tomato, good as a side dish or a dip.
You don't want it to be the entree.
Now, tomato basil soup with some rice in it, delicious.
I'm hungry. Fuck, this podcast's over.
New England clam chowder over Boston.
Yes, New England.
Boston's okay.
Isn't Boston red?
Yeah.
I'm New England.
Haven't you ever seen Ace Ventura?
I try to block that shit out because those are the worst movies ever made.
Those movies are hilarious. The first one especially is hilarious.
The first one's all right.
The second one is just funny. Like, I don't care about the movie, but it's funny.
Anyway, I don't even.
The first one is hilarious. When he jumps into that inflatable raft and then turns on his little hand fan and goes across that like 3-foot area and then gets back out.
Right.
Hilarious.
But for those of you listening tonight, we're actually not talking soup. We're going to cover.
We're talking soup.
Eisenhower's close encounter with the aliens.
Fuck Eisenhower.
I'm not talking from south of the border. I'm talking about from outer freaking space.
I love how that's just like the term now, even though illegal aliens can mean anybody from anywhere.
That's true.
Elian Gonzalez.
I just want to know, did E.T. have his fucking green card?
Fuck no. That's why he rode in the basket. Where was I?
Oh, more soup talk.
Broccoli cheddar.
Nope.
Really?
See, if I'm doing a soup, like I said, I'm not a big soup guy. Clam chowder, New England style, I can eat the ass end out of that shit.
Fair. If it's good. If it's not good, it's fucking horrible.
It's like a paste almost. You put a little, you crack. I love
loopy.
I love my crackers.
Yeah, you do. After that comment earlier about certain people putting sugar on everything.
No, I said we. I'm pretty sure. I'll listen back to the tape. So
don't cut it out.
Who knows? But put some saltine crackers or oyster crackers, whatever you want. Crunch them bitches up, and it's like a paste. It's like chili. I love my chili, but
chili's not a soup. I don't.
No,
think
I know. I'm just saying, but my chili has to be thick. I want it almost like mashed. I put chili over mashed potatoes.
I think I've done that.
It's phenomenal.
I see. That's my thing. Is like I knew about 3 ways before I even had had Skyline. My mom used to make that shit, but with real chili.
Yeah.
Chili spaghetti.
And like my mom used to make chili dogs, just with chili over hot dog, which is a coney, just with regular chili. Or that, I think they actually make a certain kind of chili dog type chili. But I like my shit thick. That's why I'm not a big like chicken noodle. I can eat chicken noodle.
I like them big.
But I'm hungry 5 minutes after I eat it.
Oh yeah, I'm a big proponent of soup as a side.
Yeah.
What about chicken tortilla? I love a chicken tortilla soup.
Never had a chicken tortilla.
You should have chicken tortilla soup. It's delicious.
Well, they just rip apart a tortilla?
It's like Hispanic chicken noodle without noodles, because you either break up tortilla chips or like they make tortilla strips like fried and you put that on top. A little bit of cheese, some green onion.
Right.
Delicious. What else? Egg drop.
No, never.
Overrated. Not bad.
I don't think I've ever had it.
I think it's okay, but it's overrated.
I'm kind of
miso.
Nope. I'm very vanilla when it comes to my soup intake.
Not a middle-aged white vanilla guy.
Yes. I'm
just saying.
I'm very vanilla. Now, in other aspects of my life, I am not vanilla.
Did you wipe back to front?
Only if it's a messy one.
If it's a messy one, you
and my shoulder, I need a shoulder replacement, so I can't. Sometimes I can't.
You're gonna have one of those. Get in there. Get those tongs. They make butt wiping tongs.
I had one when I broke my back.
Yeah.
When I broke my back, somebody got me one, and I wish I had it. I obviously lost that in the divorce.
You're gonna get some butt wiping tongs and a donut. She took your butt tongs.
Well, I think, that wasn't the divorce. It was the breakup. I think they got.
You would think that would be something that was included in the box of here's your stuff.
Well, you think what I got? Maybe I got one box not too long ago. One little thing not too long ago. Maybe
you think the butt tongs would be involved.
Maybe there's another box of it somewhere.
What if they're getting used for something? You know what? Maybe somebody wasn't paying attention and they're now just used as tongs.
But it was fantastic because I got a bad shoulder, and sometimes I don't have the range of motion, so I can't get in there and get the undercarriage as good as I once was being an old man.
You should just take a shower.
I've done that.
Every once in a while, you drop one that you just need a bath.
Funny story. Remember when COVID happened? When COVID happened, the toilet paper shortage of 2020.
Yeah, it's the stupidest shit ever.
I was discussing it with the kiddos, and they were freaking out. I was like,
"What are we gonna wipe our asses with?"
I was like, "Take a shit and hop in the fucking shower."
Yeah, or get some leaves.
I mean, I would prefer you not take a shit in the shower.
Use your hand. That's what I do in a lot of like Eastern countries.
I'll go out.
True story.
If you bitch too much, I go out and get you some leaves. But if you bitch too much, I'm gonna go get you some poison ivy just to teach you a fucking lesson.
Yeah, true story. In a lot of Eastern countries, that's why you'll only ever shake somebody's I think right hand, because the right hand is used to do things and stuff with, because they wipe with their left.
I could not. There would be no way I could get clean with my left hand. I can't even jack off with my left hand.
What about somebody else's left hand?
No.
That's what they should do. There you go. Instead of having sweatshops, just have butt wipers.
Yeah, hey.
There you go, Nike.
Where do you sign up for that?
There's your new employment opportunity. Employ underage children to wipe the asses of your patrons and your employment.
All right.
Whatever.
Got anything else you want to talk about before we get into Mr. Eisenhower?
Casey Anthony still did it. She knew something about it. She knew more than she says she knew.
We've never covered Casey Anthony, have we?
I don't think so.
I mean, she's not worth this. Here's the thing about Miss Anthony.
It's just because she's hot.
She's not even.
People just think she's hot, so she got a bunch of attention.
That was my point. She's not even that fucking hot.
The same thing with Jodi Arias.
I mean, don't get wrong. I'd tap it, but I'm not going to fall in love with it.
Just tap it.
Of course, I'm a bit of a whore, so give
it a little tappy, tap-a-roo.
Yeah, I mean, but what is she, trying to make? Obviously, she's broke, trying to make some money, getting on TikTok, and I think she had.
Well, she's worked at that fucking law firm forever. See, yeah. She's guilty as fuck in the comments right there. Yeah. And I'm not even saying she did it. I don't fucking know. But if nothing else, she had more information than she gave the cops, which then is perjury and possibly an accomplice to murder.
I mean, she's on TikTok now to be an advocate for wrongly accused.
Oh, you didn't even do fucking prison time.
But here's the thing. There's much easier ways. She could make a lot more money doing something else.
Stripping.
Being mildly freaking hot with her, I hate to use the word celebrity, but with her name recognition. She could start an OF, baby, and probably make a killing.
She'd kill it.
I mean, I'd probably just... I just got that. I'd probably subscribe for a month just to kind of check it out. Then it'd be a quick fucking unsubscribe. I'd donate $10 just to kind of check it out.
She definitely looks like she'd be good at acting like she's at an actual audition.
Yeah, but
on a black leather couch.
I think she's missing the boat.
I think she should just. If I was her, I would have just fucking stuck to what I was doing. Just keep working and being normal, and because all you're gonna do, yeah, you might get a couple people. Because I did watch the Peacock documentary. Yeah. Did change it a little bit for me. I started thinking, I was like, maybe she didn't personally physically kill her kid
and cover up type shit.
But 100%, I never. At the end of that, I even still was like, she knew more than she fucking let on. Which, that's.
I don't know.
I don't want to say that's just as bad, but
it's been so long since I've looked at the case. Or
did you watch the Peacock thing from a couple years ago? Oh, it was a fucking.
So I'm not. I'm not up to date. Maybe I'll start looking into it again. We'll cover it again. But your one podcast you used to listen to, they covered this, and they naturally.
I will listen to them again. I go through cycles.
But they did.
I listen to the same podcast for 2 months, and then by the time I'm done with that, and then I'm like, oh shit, there's so many episodes of other podcasts.
Yeah. But they did that overtime. We're talking about whom?
What?
What's the podcast?
Necronomipod.
Yes, they did a bonus episode, and they also brought up when they talked about Casey Anthony because they love Casey Anthony. in a weird kind of way, in a joking kind of way. But they brought up there was something in the headlines that I missed in the paranormal world. They brought up. I wish
this is your wheelhouse.
I just listened to it right.
Oh, you talking about Aaron from?
Yes.
Yeah. I knew about that.
You knew about that? Why didn't you say something to me, fucktard?
I just figured you did.
No.
Get on your social media game, nerd.
I'm sorry. My social media game is filled with half-naked women shaking with no bra.
Yeah, get off TikTok. You're an adult.
Fuck that. I enjoy that shit.
You're a grown-up.
52 years old. I need to see half-dressed women tatted up dancing around. I've lived life. This is how I want to spend my retirement years.
That's sad.
No.
But yeah, if you would open any other social media account, you would have seen this.
Really?
Yeah.
So she's actually in jail.
Well, I mean, with considering like that we do have joint social media accounts vis-a-vis this podcast.
I never open up our shit.
Yeah. Excuse me. Like Instagram or X. Yeah, you'd have seen it.
No shit.
Because of what we... Well, I mean, it's because of who we are and who we follow and who follows us and shit like that. Like, we're going to see that stuff.
Maybe I'll start opening up the podcast shit.
Yeah, there's probably all kinds of shit that you don't know about.
Fuck, all right.
But yeah, that bitch tried to have him killed, apparently.
I mean, I've got...
Wasn't by like a foreigner, too?
From what I heard...
You're Puerto Rican or something like that? It was one of those people from Trash Island?
He used a middleman that was in jail who contracted it out.
Yeah. From like Florida or some shit.
I mean, for one, why are you talking to some motherfucker in jail?
Pen pals. That's a thing.
Listen,
there's a whole fucking economy of like people making JPay like TikToks and shit. Or like you can like make little like profile videos and be like, my name's fucking John Smith, inmate number C1278544, incarcerated in Topeka, Kansas, and I like long walks on the rec yard and trying to keep my butthole safe. If you guys want to hit me up, my JPay number is this. It's a thing.
Oh, nice.
It's like Tinder for fucking inmates.
Listen, I've got a lot of pissed off exes in my life. I don't think anybody's took a hit out on me. Now, some ex-boyfriends of some.
Well, I mean, it's a little different. He's like a millionaire that has great health care. All they got to do for you is wait.
You think he is? Come on, Zach's taking all that.
I would imagine.
Zach's taking all that.
No, I would imagine his entire net worth has probably got to be in the millions. If you take into account investments, properties, endorsements.
And here's the thing, they were only married, 2 years? Like
they think they got married in like 22 or some shit.
2022. I mean...
You got tired of him that fast?
Jesus.
Or was this just a fucking in the works the whole time?
I mean,
she was like, "Oh, I have a plan," and then like 10 months into it, she was like, "Fuck, Zach's gay. That's not going to work. I'm going to have to bang the former fat one."
But I mean, I'm an asshole, and it took my ex-wife about 10, 11 years to figure that shit out, and she still didn't try to have me killed. And I thought, if somebody was going to put out a hit on me, it's going to be her. And I've dated some crazy ones before.
You don't think there's any fucking voodoo dolls out there?
Maybe. It's possible. That list is long and distinguished. Did you ever watch 2.5 Men?
I've seen it.
There's when he has his he dreams about his funeral, and he's got a bunch of women lined up spitting in the coffin. That'll probably be my funeral. That'll probably all who show up. Exes that I have scorned.
You going to the service for who? Phil? Who?
Fuck him. All right. So anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. Has anything else happened? I'm waiting to see if the storm comes in through tonight.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be rough.
I didn't see shit on the weather on like when I checked the weather, but what else?
I think that's. But we're covering conspiracy aliens.
Oh, I need to go and look and see if Nosferatu's on stream yet.
Oh yeah. All
so
right.
I can do the old tradition, drink a bottle of wine and have some fucking ramen noodles and feather tickle my butthole while I watch scary movies.
Are you homosexual?
No, that's just as God intended. It's in the Bible.
I was talking to somebody. I believe there's probably a large contingency of people
who are gay
who watch this.
This is confirmed.
Who watch this that think we're gay.
There's people that have met me in real life that thought I was gay.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but I don't think we put off gay vibes.
like multiple people have thought I was gay in my, especially like at where I work over the years. Like a handful of people were like, I wonder if he's gay. And I'm like, no, I'm not gay. I'm just way more comfortable in my male sexuality than you are. Get used to it.
It's like, so I can sit and look at a guy and say, hey, that's a pretty damn good looking guy.
Yeah, that's not gay.
That's not gay at all. That's just common sense.
Yeah. When I see Jason Momoa, I'm not like, ew.
Or I can look at a guy and say, that fucker's a toad. I mean, I can do
every day in the mirror.
Or you're fucking a dork. What the fuck are you doing? I can look, or say, damn, good job.
Well, no, it's just because I'm good at acting effeminate, and I don't give a fuck to, because sometimes it's just funny. It fits the scenario.
I mean,
like when the high school girls I work with, like, randomly are like, yes, queen, and I'm like, ah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a homosexual joke between two heterosexual men.
Yeah, there's nothing gay about cracking a gay joke with the boys and then going home and sucking each other off.
Okay, that might be a bit much.
There's nothing straighter.
All right,
you gotta, I mean, like,
that's a great segue into
it's just like porn. Like, everybody's like, no, I watch straight porn. Like, that's the gayest shit ever. And I agree. You're just searching for dicks.
You're not gonna watch. If the title had little dick in it, you're not going to click on that some bitch.
That's what I'm saying. Some people might, but though,
BBC, probably still the most clicked thing in the world.
Oh no, I saw a breakdown by state.
Oh,
it was interesting. It got weird.
It doesn't get weird.
Yeah,
even though I've noticed I don't know, maybe this is my algorithm. There's a lot of stepmother porn out there.
That's been a thing. Step bro, stepmom, all that shit. Oh no, I'm stuck in the dryer.
Who's dumb enough to get stuck in the dryer?
I'm stuck under the bed. Yeah, that was a thing. That started during COVID.
I've seen those, but
that started during COVID. And you know why it started is because a bunch of lonely fucks with too much internet access ran through the fucking porn library.
They went real deep.
And the porn industry was like, all right, we got to try something new.
I mean,
and that's when they started, like, my favorite video on all of the porns, if you can find it, I forget what it's called, but it involves a girl and a guy. They're both on, at least for the beginning part of it, they're both on hoverboards, and he's in an inflatable T-Rex costume with a giant strap-on strapped to the outside of it. It's hilarious. All you hear is, like, you see like this all white, like, porn mansion, and you hear, and then she comes wheeling around the corner, and then the guy comes out behind her with this big floppy fake dick, and he's like, rawr, and it is hilarious.
I mean, how bored and how demented are you if you get to the fucking end of the Pornhub fucking category, or whatever I'm trying to say.
Catalog.
That's it.
I don't know. I'm sure somebody's done it. I'm sure there's
I think you might be a problem.
I'm sure there's somebody there that's scrolled every page.
But
because you work your way through a lot anyway, because you never watch the one you pick first. You see the related videos at the bottom, and you're like, oh, that one looks good. Open a new window.
I'm going to let everybody in, all the female listeners, because we have vast female listeners.
It works the same for women.
If you make it to the end of the porn, it wasn't very good.
Well, or unless you fast forward. Unless you're like, I like these things, and you're like, and you see a little preview, and you're like, there. And you're like, It works the same for both sexes.
Does it? Well, I've seen.
Yeah, I don't know about the. I don't know about the different. The more what's the word I'm looking for? Diverse side of the gender argument that, since LGBTQIA plus is a thing. I don't know how the fuck they porn. But
how they porn?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they porn. You porn. That's a website. Sponsor us. But yeah, I don't know how all of them porn, how they them porn, but from my understanding, a lot of men and women porn the same. It takes you about 20 minutes to go through suggested videos because you're like, oh, that looks interesting.
I like.
And then eventually, every once in a while, you just go, where's that one I watched like a month ago that I really liked?
I like all these women that talk about, how that's all disgusting, and they play it out like,
and then they go home and like they want to judge you because you say something about porn ever, and then they go home and they like shut the blinds, and the first thing up on their TV from their Roku stick is like some chick like blasting diarrhea out of her ass onto a fucking birthday cake, while some guy's like, ugh.
We know me in a public setting, I like to eavesdrop. I'm not a people person. I don't like anybody. There's a very select few of people that I like, but I will eavesdrop. And I've heard conversations that a group of women have had that would put a male locker room to shame.
Yeah, they just like I don't understand it. I'm like, everybody just accept it.
We're all fucking animals and heathens.
Yeah.
Embrace it.
Sexy stuff is like one of the only things that every human being has in common. Everybody has sex, and if they don't, they either don't know what it is yet because they're too young, or they want to be.
Right. Well, this is a great.
Listen up, nerds.
Wait, we are 6 minutes over our allotted bullshit session.
Listen up, Asian nerds. You want make fuck? Get nice car.
All right, let's get into President Eisenhower. Do you think? Have you heard the conspiracy? What? Yes, mother.
That whole conversation, and your mom chimes in, and that's what she has to say.
Yes, mother. You are one of the few people that I like.
So anyway, now that you've talked to your mom, porn,
donkey shows, and ping pong,
winking buttholes, and floppy nutsack.
Okay. President Eisenhower.
Floppy nutsack.
Probably he was old, but have you heard the conspiracy theory that he met with aliens and maybe had
I listened to a whole podcast where his granddaughter, his great granddaughter,
who is wacky as
she's fucking out there, dude. Oh, speaking of, real quick sidebar of like weird culty out there shit. What was the fucking Maharishi or whatever the fuck? Back in like the 70s and 80s, he started the transcendental meditation thing.
I don't know.
Had like the Beatles and Oprah went there and learned how to do TM, they call it. Watch a little documentary about them. They still are a thing in Iowa. And like it was in an odd way they have all these allegations of being a cult, and like there's some stuff that might not be too kosher in their history or somewhere along the hierarchy of it. But the video I watched, it was like the most, if it's a cult, it was the most normal and like not super creepy, weird cult I've ever seen. It's like a thing. Like they have a whole fucking like property. You can go there. They have like different places where you can learn to meditate, do transcendental meditation. You can practice it as a group. You can fucking like they have like parking lots and buildings on this thing, and like it seemed pretty fucking chill. It was super weird. I was expecting it to be much more sinister by the end, but like literally they met with like the president of the company, and he was like you guys, he was like, I hope you guys, live a happy life. And I hope, what you learned here, you can take with you and just keep doing it elsewhere. And we hope to see you again. And like, they just left.
Huh, nice. Well, it's always good to come across a good cult.
Well, then it made me think, now I want to look into transcendental meditation. Because the guys in the video were like, yeah, no, I do feel like clearer. And he was like, I only had 1 cup of coffee today, which sounds weird, but I always have 2. And I feel just as perfectly fine without the second cup. Well, you have to bring fruit and flowers.
I don't have the patience to meditate. I tried.
I've done it multiple times, but most of the time I just end up being like, cool, I sat still for 20 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
I gotta poop and I want candy. that's my breakthrough.
All right, there is a serious connection between President Dwight D.
President
Dwight D. Eisenhower and extraterrestrials.
What, Dwight Howard?
No, he's just a freaking...
You think he's ever done that for Halloween? Put on like a fucking suit and a white wig and glasses and been Dwight D. Eisenhower?
No.
That's I'm tweeting at him. That's a great idea.
But this is a long-standing conspiracy theory that has been around for a while. In 1954, Eisenhower allegedly met with aliens to negotiate a treaty.
Go on.
What? There is. I'm
instantly appalled.
I'm gonna spill the beans right here.
I'm instantly appalled by
this. There
is
no verifiable evidence.
No shit
that this took place.
And also, why the fuck? What treaty are you gonna negotiate? The fuck cards?
I'm going to cover it.
We are the Ukraine.
Put your panties back on, Grandma.
We are the Ukraine, and the aliens are Trump in that conversation. You don't have the cards. You have no cards. I walked into this room. I said, "Oh, what a nice room."
But 1954, the meeting between Eisenhower and I believe it was the Nordics, the first meeting. There was actually 2 meetings. And
the tall blonde people.
And actually, researching this goes really deep to something maybe before this happened. We'll cover that.
Thought he was meeting with aliens. It was just Magnus for Magnus's dad.
But Eisenhower, in February 20th and 21st, Eisenhower was in Palm Springs, vacationing, if you will. But he suddenly disappeared from this vacation.
Yeah, he went to
the official explanation given by the White House, he had an emergency dental appointment after chipping a tooth while eating fried chicken.
He went to a rub and tug.
Or he went and met aliens.
He went to Mar-a-Lago.
Eyewitnesses and whistleblowers later claimed that Eisenhower and a team of high-ranking officials met with a group of Nordic-looking extraterrestrials at Edwards Air Force Base.
Wouldn't...
What?
My biggest problem with this whole thing, off rip, and from once we get to the end, it will still be a problem. Wouldn't you think there would be stories about this from other politicians from around the world? Because wouldn't you think that other countries would be involved in this?
Maybe, or they're smart to know we the shit.
Where was Gorbachev? Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that. Mr. Gorbachev.
Gorbachev wasn't in power yet, I don't believe.
Who was? It wasn't Stalin.
In 54?
Was it Stalin still?
I think so.
Or Brezhnev?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think Gorbachev came in until the late 70s, early 80s.
Brezhnev was before him, correct? Or was Brezhnev after that? Yeah.
I don't know.
It was Lenin, Stalin, Brezhnev, Gorbachev, Putin, right?
I think so.
See, these are those moments where I say shit like that and people in my day-to-day life are like, what the fuck, you know shit? And I'm like, yeah, let me tell you about the fart I had this morning.
But the Nordic aliens were described as humanoid, tall, with pale white skin and blue eyes.
Nords.
Or maybe they were German Nazis. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It was just like, they just interviewed fucking...
Don't worry. The Nazis are going to make an appearance in this podcast episode.
Of course they are.
Before it's all said and done. But these aliens apparently came to visit old Dwight because they wanted to spread a message of peace and a warning about humanity in the future of
said humanity.
Yes.
Why the fuck would you be making a treaty?
Well, because there was no negotiation. They were
fix this.
They were offering technology and spiritual advancement.
Okay.
They supposed to offer to help humanity evolve spiritually and IT in exchange for nuclear disarmament. Now, we talked about this.
A lot of good that did.
Well, and also they were warning about other races. There were some not so nice.
Oh, other alien races.
Yes. You got to watch out from the Mexicans. They're going to come up from the border.
The dark ones will take you down.
No, about other alien species that maybe weren't so friendly. But
they just described it like a fucking coral snake out west, like
black next to yellow, you're a dead fellow.
But they basically wanted the U.S. to abandon its nuclear weapon program, fearing that nuclear energy posed a threat to Earth and beyond.
And Eisenhower just stood up, cocked a shotgun, and said, "Come and take mine."
That's pretty much what Eisenhower said.
He said, "Don't you tread on me, you otherworldly son of a bitch."
Eisenhower was unwilling to accept these terms because it was the start of the Cold War, or the early stages of the Cold War. And you know them pesky Russians weren't going to do it. What?
This comment says, there's no evidence to prove these interactions occurred. However, there's full-blown alien descriptions from said encounters. The Nordic aliens aren't like a new thing.
Listen, I will, there are witnesses, and I will mention witnesses to this. So keep your fucking pants on there, sugar tits.
Well, and also, like I said, the Nordic aliens isn't like a new thing.
No,
they like there's the Nords, Greys, reptilians, fucking what? Insert ones that we don't know. Anunnaki, fucking
right. There's like 70. Apparently, there's 79 different races, something like that, of alien species.
What that we know of?
That we know of.
Okay. I was going to say, like, anyway, are we putting a finite number on that?
When you hear no official evidence, this is called documentation via the government.
This is called what the government do.
And there's a reason why there's no documentation of this. And I will, if you people would just slow your fucking roll, hang with us, enjoy it, I will cover all this shit. But no, now you had to fuck up my rhythm. See, now fuck this.
We don't have any rhythm.
I fucking quit.
We don't have any rhythm. You have to. We can't even read our notes half the time. How the fuck are we gonna have a rhythm?
I know, but still. The meeting ended.
Half the time we read, it sounds like Biz Marquee.
Now there are witnesses that stated that the ship came down, landed on this airstrip, they got out. These tall, freaking Nazi-looking aliens got out and proposed this treaty, proposed this shit, and basically, Dwight said, "Fuck off."
He's like, you couldn't have just done this in a Zoom meeting?
Yeah, no shit. But
I had to wake up for this shit. I had to golf the back nine with a guy at Mar-a-Lago that doesn't exist yet.
We have talked about this nuclear disarmament shit with aliens.
It'll never happen.
No,
it'll never happen, and it's not real.
Fuck.
Do they give a shit?
Do they give a nuclear power?
Well,
this is they give that shit to their kids for fucking Christmas science projects.
That's what I was gonna say. The only realistic thing that I could think of that would make them give a shit about our nuclear prowess would be if nuclear fusion, nuclear fission, some type of nuclear powered something is the next step to legitimate space or intergalactic travel, allowing us to go elsewhere and fuck other places up like we fucked this place up.
Here's the thing. Here's what look, listen. The radiation that comes off a nuclear power plant or nuclear explosion, the meltdown or the bomb, pales to comparison to what is out there in space. As soon as you get outside of our atmosphere.
Yeah. Try going out in space without protection from the sun. You'll be cooked.
See what fuck happens. Let me know how that goes for you. So I just don't understand why. I think personally this is the people who believe in these things are pushing an agenda.
Duh.
They hate fucking nuclear. There's still now I'm 54 and 60. Yes, there should have been a fear of nuclear
that was
power.
back when they still had fucking air raid sirens and fucking.
Well, because we all know getting under a fucking
a desk is not going to.
Desk,
yeah,
is going to save you from the.
Wasn't there something else behind that? Like they discovered there was some other reason why they had kids do certain stuff.
I don't know. I know I did those drills.
I didn't. We did do tornado drills, which are dumb as fuck as well. Get on the ground and put your head between your legs. You have to protect your cranium from falling objects. Bitch, we're in a building. What the fuck do you think my 8-year-old hands are going to stop from crushing my fucking head? Are you shitting me? Are you fucking dumb? Right. Do you not understand how construction works? I'm 8. I weigh fucking like 100 pounds. What do you think I'm going to stop from happening? You mean put my head between my legs so I can kiss my ass goodbye if this thing actually goes down? The fuck?
Anyway, so the Nordic aliens were not pleased with Dwight Boy's
when he told them to fuck off.
When he told them to go pound sand. So they left. Now, there was an alleged second meeting with the Greys.
Oh, here we go.
Later in 54, Eisenhower is said to have met with a different alien race, what we commonly refer to as the Greys, now small gray-skinned beings with large heads and black eyes.
That was just the royal family.
Right. Unlike these other Nordic aliens, the Greys were allegedly more pragmatic and willing to make a deal. They were willing to negotiate.
What the fuck deal do they need to make?
I'm going to tell you once again. Slow your roll.
Wouldn't it just be do what we say or we'll fucking blow you up?
This is actually referred to as the Greada Treaty. Eisenhower supposedly signed an agreement with the Greys that's now known as this treaty that I'm not going to say again because I can barely.
I would assume it's Greada if it's the Greys.
Yeah. The treaty allegedly allowed the Greys to abduct a limited number of us for medical research. In return, they would give us technology advancements such as fiber optics. This is where the whole people talk
internet
about,
and shit like that.
Fiber optics and all the big leaps in technology came after 47. People always link it to Roswell, but they also agreed to return these
Ow, I think I had hot sauce on my finger and I scratched my eye.
these abductees unharmed, other than a little anal probing.
This we are instantly back to the fucking porn conversation.
And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Nothing wrong with little anal probing. If those people get abducted by aliens, come back and bitch about anal probing, I guarantee you look at their web browser. There's going to be some anal probing Pornhub. I guarantee you. They liked it. They just didn't want to admit to it.
I don't know about all that, but you could definitely make the argument that after we see what they allegedly do to livestock, the probe is very minuscule.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Instead of having like all your organs ripped out through your asshole.
Right. But, but like I said, this tree was for, they gave us some which technology. We gave them, some test subjects. But
fair.
There has been a big jump in technology from World War II to where we're at. It's grown at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
I mean, think about...
considering we celebrated the cotton gin for how long?
When did the Wright brothers take off? What was that, 1890s, early 1900s?
I don't know.
So
I was going to say 1912, but that was the Titanic, and I think maybe the first, I don't know, factory-made automobile.
But
of 1910, maybe.
I think they was about 2001.
Yeah, 2001, when China got their first cars.
1901 was one of the first cars.
Was it 1910 when the Ford Motor Company did the assembly line thing then?
I think so.
Maybe.
But
we know stuff. We know things.
Look at Civil War, 1865, and it's from 1865.
I love thinking, as bad as it sounds, I love thinking about battle back then. It's like, you stand there, we'll stand here.
Like you jack off your gun.
And at the drop of the coin, we shoot the shit out of each other. Whoever quits first is a bitch and loses.
So what?
Fire!
So Civil War was 140 years ago, roughly?
Maybe 160 now.
160 years. Yeah.
Give or take.
Under 170 years. Math is hard. Don't ever do it. I'm an idiot.
Give or take more time because we're dumb.
We'll go 175 years. It's wrong, but we'll go with that.
Give or take 50.
That's still not that long ago.
No. In the grand scheme of things, that's not long at all.
Your great-great-grandparent
that comment
was probably born right around 1900. So your great
shit. My grandparents were born around 1900.
Well, fuck, I think mine were only born in the 30s, and I'm older than you.
Because my grandma,
or no, the 20s.
Because my grandma would have been, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure, I believe my grandma was 100% old enough to have remembered World War II.
Well, that was 1942.
Yeah.
So anybody born...
No, I'm pretty sure she was in her teens.
So she was...
Or close to it.
So probably...
If not older.
Right.
I'm trying to do some math. I don't know. Because she died when she was old. She was born when she was young. She was older when she was older than young. And then she died when she was old. So somewhere in there, war.
But my point is, 2 people ago... people lived to be fucking 100. Which
2 people ago.
2 people ago was basically the Civil War.
Yeah.
And look at what we're driving around now. Look at the technology. We're talking to fucking at least 3 people all over the globe.
Yeah. There's people driving around in fucking door stops, aka Tesla trucks.
Yeah, that's true.
Stupidest looking fucking vehicle.
Well, if you want a spaceship, it looks like a spaceship.
I don't want a spaceship. I want a fucking car.
Okay, but
take your spaceship and drive it right up your asshole, and with Donald Trump in it.
And really, if you think from the time the Wright brothers got in their paper mache fucking plane,
still the most outlandish thing ever.
I give them credit. They were ballsiest. They had balls.
What happens when you get a gust of wind and you're like, fuck,
to the jet engine was developed, I believe, by the Germans first in World War II.
Have you seen the video of the guy that got sucked into a jet engine?
No, I don't want to see that.
It was there's really not much to see. He just kind of disappears and the motor stops working. Like,
no mist
there's
comes
some
out the back.
sparks. Like, but if you see a goose get hit by a jet, you do see some feathers.
In that 40 to 50 years, there was advancement, but not. Look at the advancement we had from, say, 1980 to fucking 2000.
Yeah.
That was a big jump.
The internet, I would say cell phones, but I'm pretty sure cell phones
They existed.
Technically were a thing in the 80s.
Yeah, they were. They were just the bricks. Or, they always, I believe the government had cell phones. But the internet's been around since the fucking 60s.
Well, realistically, you also had car phones, which car phone is essentially, if you break it down to its most basest form, is basically a cell phone.
But look at this.
It is a phone that does not require wires or a landline to make itself work.
In the 80s, the car phone became pretty big, I guess.
Yeah.
So rich people could only afford it.
I remember being a kid, my best friend's at the time's mom had a car phone. I felt so cool. I got to call my house one time and ask if I could sleep over, and I was like, this is next level. I've peaked.
In the 70s and 80s, the car phone, and then you had the brick in the 80s for sure. It was about that big. Looked like
it had a shoulder strap.
World War II movies where the guy's got a backpack cranking.
I need air support.
But I remember my first cell phone. I don't think I got a cell phone till right before I got married. So 95, 94,
I was gonna say, I think my first one was like 02 or 03 because I was like 12 or 13 and I never fucking used it. I only took it if I was told to take it somewhere because my dad was, or I was going to be like outside of the house without my parents.
Right. But 94, 95 is when I got my first cell phone. And that thing was colossal compared to what we have today. I mean, we have a fucking miniature computer in our hands.
I'm watching us live on my cellular device. Why? Because that's one free viewer. If you do the math, I make up 20% of the people watching us right now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, we have, since, whether you want to believe it, people who believe in Roswell, we got back engineered some of that, whatever crashed there. Mm-hmm. But from 47, which was Roswell, to, or if you want to go with this, 54, there is a big jump in technology. Mm-hmm. Now, I would think fiber optics, people always say fiber optics.
Yeah.
But however, I would think if it's extraterrestrial, I think you'd take more than fiber optics to travel, to bend space and time to get here.
Right.
I think more in a fucking fancy little light cable.
How'd you get here, spaceman? iPhone. You'll know. I put an iPhone into a Chrysler station wagon, and here we are.
But there is something, like I said, now I don't know whether or not we're back engineering fucking alien tech to make these.
If we've gotten our hands on it, we definitely are. You'd be fucking stupid not to.
Or this is just we're getting smarter as a species, and naturally the more people you have that have a high intellect will create things.
Yeah. And the more concussions you have, the more chance you have of people waking up being mathematicians.
And it multiplies over every year. Things get better and smaller, and it just magnifies. Mm-hmm. That could account for, I don't know. I don't fucking know. But,
more brains for storming.
But they also attribute like the stealth aircraft to
Seen it
too. Microchips, fiber optics, all this to either the trade of knowledge for our human anuses. But
what?
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, all jokes aside, maybe this was when they started populating the Earth. They needed the test subjects to figure out how we synthesize and digest our oxygen molecules and stuff like that on this planet. And they were like, all right, we're going to take some of you guys. We'll be back in 5 years, and we're going to live here now. I'm the daddy.
Now
I'm moving. I am your stepfather.
Now we're going to get to the part where the commenter wants to talk about no evidence. I'm going to give witnesses now. And these aren't Billy Bob from sitting in the back of his pickup truck drinking some Natty Light.
We got this going on, but we can't find DB
These
Cooper.
are reported people who actually witnessed this meeting, were in attendance to this meeting. Gerald Light, a metaphysical researcher, claimed to have first-hand knowledge of this meeting at Edwards Air Force Base.
Go ahead. I'm going to look up what a metaphysical researcher does.
I think it's a whack job, personally. Not the best witness. But here comes a good one. William Cooper, ex-Navy intelligence officer, alleged that there actually was a treaty done with the Greys. It was a real thing, and the U.S. did gain knowledge from their technology.
Huh. This reads, a metaphysical researcher or metaphysician.
Metaphysician?
I like that word much better. Explores the fundamental nature of reality, including existence, consciousness, and the universe, often delving into areas beyond the scope of empirical sciences.
Huh.
That reads. That would be the kind of person that I would expect to be at a meeting that didn't happen.
I didn't write them all down. I believe there was a CIA director. I thought I put their names down. I guess I didn't. Well, motherfucker.
He didn't exist.
I could go into my other notes and find it. But Phil Schroeder, an engineer, claimed to have worked in underground bases where the government collaborated with these extraterrestrials. Phil Snyder, yeah. But there was, I wish I wrote, I don't know how I missed it. There was like an ex-CIA director, I believe one of the first one. Who was the first? It wasn't the guy who killed Kennedy.
The first CIA director?
Yeah, what's his name?
Wasn't it Eisenhower?
I don't know. CIA, back in Eisenhower time, they was still.
The first one.
OSS.
Oh.
I don't think CIA didn't, well, Mike came around about this time.
Go ahead, I'll find it.
Anyway.
Google, as soon as I look it up,
Google the first CIA, the first CIA director. But I thought
it was a former or future president, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I'll get back to it. I could look my other notes, but fuck it out.
Rear Admiral Roscoe H.
That's him.
Hillencoder.
He was a witness to this as well. So these aren't crackpots. Let's be honest.
I don't know. Just looking at this man, he was old as fuck at this time.
Well, it happens. Now, as we'd like to do here on the GITM podcast, we will cover the skeptics' view. We will let,
because it's usually our view.
Like contrary to popular belief, I am not a full-blown conspiracy theorist.
Neither am I. I talk about them a lot, and I find them super interesting. But like, I don't believe most of them.
Now,
I think some of them are very. Conveniently detailed or precise in certain ways that make you go, oh.
But
like the goddamn bats in fucking Wuhan.
So the skeptic's view is there is no official documentation, and there's a reason for this, and I'm going to
because it's the government.
I'm going to cover it. There's a real legitimate reason, and you probably even heard about this. For this,
Watergate.
No, many people believe this story emerged from the Cold War paranoia of UFOs culture in the 50s.
Yeah,
which
that reads
very possible. That is very possible. Now,
or it was fucking like Russian propaganda.
Right now, this ties into another conspiracy theory. Have you ever heard of the 1952 Truman surrender?
Mm-mm.
This is a conspiracy theory that President Harry Truman orchestrated a secret Nazi alien surrender.
Like surrender to the Nazis and aliens?
Correct. We know the Nazis did escape. Yes. To Argentina and to other places.
I'm still pretty sure that Hitler did.
They did have secret bases. They were very interested in Antarctica. There's rumors that high-ranking Nazi officials escaped to a hidden base in Antarctica. We've covered this in a previous episode called New Schwabenland.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Operation Admiral Byrd. We covered it in that.
Oh, Paperclip? No, not Paperclip. Fuck, there's so many operations, and
It was where Byrd had the war in Antarctica with alien spacecraft.
it's because it's
Oh, what the fuck?
It's tied to paperclip.
Right, and this is kind of tied to paperclip as well.
I'm gonna think of it. Continue.
Right now, we know
Operation Dumbo Drop.
no. It is a fact that the Nazis were much more advanced than us. They had a lot more going on. Technology wise,
This is my wheelhouse. It's really bothering me that I can't just spit this out.
technology wise, they were more advanced. They had the best scientists. High jump.
Yes, it is
Thank
high
you,
jump.
Papa. We appreciate it, Papa Will.
Also, could be Operation Double Drop.
Dumbo drop. Isn't that a movie?
Yeah,
Okay.
with Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Botep. I think that was the name of the elephant. Botep, nice. Botep, my
We
friend.
even- I think in that we even covered. There are pictures of flying saucers, German flying saucers.
There's a video of one.
Yeah.
It doesn't do much. It doesn't like fly off or anything, but there's a video of one leaving the ground for momentarily and then dropping back down.
Right. And we've all heard of the bell, the Nazi bell, which they called Die Glocke. That's how you pronounce that. I took German in high school. Thank you. I got an F in it for one semester. Only F I ever got in school.
You know what a Nazi gets if they come around these parts? The Glocke. Oh, dude, great dad joke I just heard.
Oh, fuck me.
Why did the cowboy get a wiener dog?
Hard telling why.
He wanted to get a long little doggy. Yeah,
I damn near spit up all over the fucking
that's a good one, huh?
I was.
You guys can have that.
Where are we at? Where was that?
I also saw a tweet where somebody said, "Who's got 7 thumbs and just got fired from the mortuary or from the morgue?"
So we're talking about the Truman surrender. There's a conspiracy theory that Truman surrendered to the Nazi joint task force between Nazis and aliens in
Harry Truman always gave off
1952. And which I didn't expect to go down this rabbit hole. I expected this episode to be done right here. But I fell down this rabbit hole and I had a major Woody, so I had to write it down. Now, I know you've heard of the UFO incident over Washington, D.C. in 1952. There are those people that believe that these UFO sightings were an attack, or a show of force, I should say, but to the U.S. government by the Nazis and aliens. This led to a national security concerns, and the U.S. Air Force launched an investigation under Project Blue Book. This is where Blue Book kicked off.
Not to be confused with Blue Beam,
Now,
which is happening right now.
there are those people who believe that this was not actually UFOs, extraterrestrial UFOs.
Yeah.
These were the Nazis coming up from Antarctica to demonstrate their power and negotiate a secret surrender or treaty.
What if these were all just fucking drones before drones were a thing? I've never thought of that.
Now, basically, Truman was forced to basically surrender, because there's those people that believe the Nazis never really lost the war. That is a legitimate thought. They lost the war.
The state of Germany over the last 80 years says otherwise.
Germany lost the war. The Nazis didn't.
Fair.
With paperclip, we took all. There was a negotiation.
That's an interesting way to think about it, because if you think like realistically, the Nazi Party in a way never dissolved. It just changed names and started working for us.
They dispersed. They were allowed to disperse. Whether it be we took them, some of Soviet Union took some scientists. Everybody took. You get a scientist. You get a scientist.
And then Hitler ran away and just lived in Castle Grayskull for the rest of the time.
And went to. So the Nazis were never actually defeated. Germany took the fall.
They were repurposed.
Right. They were allowed to
rebranded, if you will.
Where was I at?
They hit the waiver wire.
Right. Now, so basically there's this, Truman had to surrender because the technology was much more high-tech than what we had at the time in 52. Now, the most extreme version suggests that in 1952, Truman secretly surrendered to Nazi forces who had survived the war and maintained their technological, I can't even speak tonight, Jesus, you know what I'm trying to say, edge over the U.S. Why did I put that twice? Anyway.
Just in case.
Have you ever heard of the Majestic 12?
Yep.
This is for those people who don't know. It was a supposed secret government group formed to handle UFO matters, which some claim played a role in covering up the 1952 surrender.
And come to think, I always just thought it was a fucking Quentin Tarantino movie.
MJ-12 is the name.
MJ-12 is the name of the next number one ranked quarterback prospect in the country.
This organization was formed in 1947 by Harry S. Truman to oversee and manage information related to extraterrestrial encounters right around the Roswell.
So he made a thing to keep an eye on this, and then he ended up being a bitch about it.
No, he didn't. You mean surrender?
He signed a truce
with.
That's
the Majestic 12.
Majestic sounds like a
MJ-12 was not a force. It was just a committee to cover the shit up.
That's where he went to complain about everything that was going on. Like, I don't know if we should do this, Harry. Are you kidding? You weren't there, Tom. It's either we do this or they're going to fuck my ass, not yours.
The Majestic 12 we gained knowledge of this in 1984 by a researcher named Jamie Shandira.
Already sounds untrustworthy.
Received an envelope containing a roll of undeveloped film.
That's how it always happens.
According to reports, on this film once it was developed, classified government documents dealing with the MJ-12 project, dated from 1952, contained a briefing for incoming President Dwight D. Eisenhower and the Secret Committee formation and activity. The information suggests that MJ-12 was responsible for handling extraterrestrial technology, reverse engineering alien aircraft, suppressing public knowledge of UFOs. The committee included well-known figures in the military and scientific fields, such as this dude, Mr. Bush, a scientific advisor and head of wartime research projects. Oh, this is why I got confused. Okay, this is Roscoe. He's in this. James Forrestal, first Secretary of Defense. Roscoe
P. Coltrane.
Yeah, the first CIA director. And General Nathan Twining, U.S. Air Force Chief of Staff. So now
all-star.
So basically, the MJ-12 is basically to cover up UFO encounters, reverse engineer, and have a secret relationship with the extraterrestrials. But main thing is misinformation, which you always have to understand that we don't know what to believe with this, even today.
This is true.
How much of this, a majority of whatever we've learned, all this disclosure, could be just misinformation. What's that other operation where Jesus is going to talk to us in the sky?
Beam. Project Blue Beam.
Blue Beam, yes.
It's happening right now.
Yes. So,
the crazy shit is, have you looked into that? There's Project Blue Beam shit going on.
Really? Maybe we'll
did
we cover this episode?
Project Blue Beam?
Yeah,
it was like my first episode I ever did, or like second
or third, I think.
Yeah. No, like if you look into the news around the world and like how stuff's going on, like
maybe
Project Blue Beam is. I'm not saying that actual Project Blue Beam is coming true, but shit that is low key outlined in Project Blue Beam is fucking happening currently.
Maybe we ought to revisit that and talk about what's going on the crossover.
We could do that.
That might be a good episode. As I did earlier, let's do some debunking this controversy.
Did you say
Iditarod, no.
Iditarily.
As I spoke earlier about, let's debunk this.
As I done said.
There are a lot of inconsistencies in the terminology used in these documents. Some of the language, I don't have examples of this. I searched. Somebody said this.
Should have sicked me on it. I'd have found it.
Some of the language in the documents were not consistent with the lingo of the 40s and 50s.
The aliens were quite strange, but also lit as fuck when we had a party.
Formatting issues. The structure of the documents does not exactly match authentic government briefings. Makes sense.
Due to the conversation with the extraterrestrials, we fear for the future of our country, and that is no cap.
Now, I just threw in there because it makes sense.
Because it makes sense. Just shut up about it. That's why.
No verifiable government records. There never is. There's no verification MJ-12 exists.
The only time
wouldn't be.
The only time we get that shit is 50 years later, and half the fucking document is blacked out and redacted.
And here's the thing about the government: they will deny. Area 51 was in a fucking blockbuster movie in 1996, and they still denied it was a thing.
Yeah,
it wasn't until 2010. Or 2005, somewhere between 2005, 2010, they actually admitted Area 51 existed.
When you have fucking kids walking around talking about Area 51 before you even fucking make a comment about it, you're doing a bad job.
Will Smith was talking about Area 51 in Independence Day.
Jeff Goldblum knew all about it.
I mean, come on. When you reach that level of pop culture, it's in a major...
Bill Paxton... He broke the levee.
I will not go soft. We will not go softly into that good night. That was a kick-ass speech there.
Where's my drunk pilot? Where's Cousin Eddie? Cousin Eddie, get out of the window. Did you notice the fact I didn't think about that? He also lived in a fucking Winnebago in Independence Day.
Yes, maybe he got a thing about Winnebago.
Get out of your Winnebago and save the world.
In the words of my generation, up yours.
The moral shitter's full, Eddie. We need you now.
Now, here's the thing. That's pretty much all I got. I thought maybe MJ-12, we might do a full breakdown episode of one at some point.
Talk about his combine results.
Yeah. I thought he was 23, but I could be wrong.
No, that's Michael Jackson, the average age of his lover.
Oh,
MJ-12.
Hello.
You know what Michael Jackson loves about 26-year-olds?
What?
There's 20 of them.
Don't fuck with the king of pop. Here's the thing. Do I think Dwight D. Eisenhower met with aliens? I don't fucking know.
What good would it do? We have no... Again, not to sound like fucking Trump daddy, but we don't... Realistically, if they have the ability to travel here from another galaxy, we don't have any fucking... we hold no Trump card at that point.
We'll spend.
Because what are they going to do? We're going to threaten them, and they're going to be like, "Oh, okay, we'll be a million light years away by the time you can press the fucking button. We have warp. We have ludicrous speed.
Ooh, hey,
ludicrous speed.
He can take a Hyundai and make a space shuttle out of it.
They'd be like, "Hey, lick my space nuts, Dwight. We're out."
Here's I don't know. I think it's a foregone conclusion. There's something going on right now. Whether I think we are closer to disclosure now than we ever have been. But then again, how much of this is a psyop or disinformation? And
how much of it is disclosure, and how much of it is just acceptance of reality?
I am 100% sure there's life throughout the universe.
Yeah.
100% sure.
Yeah. Because everybody's like, oh, blah, blah. No. You're thinking about this the wrong way. If there's single or multi-celled organisms elsewhere in the universe, that's life. That is life elsewhere. Where do you think we fucking came from?
Right. Now, what people are seeing, and I've moved a lot closer to this way of thinking, doesn't mean it's extraterrestrial. It very well could be interdimensional. The multiverse is actually a real thing.
Well, yeah. How do you think they got Wolverine and Deadpool together?
Oh, for the love of God, get off your Marvel fucking kick. Fuck them. No,
you watched that shit before? You went to see that shit in theaters.
Fuck yeah.
I waited until it came out on Disney Plus. Who's the Marvel nerd?
I
haven't even watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Neither have I.
I need to. Apparently, it might make me cry.
Was the first one when Groot died?
No, yes.
I got a little teary-eyed.
He was born again.
I got a little teary-eyed when Groot died.
Dude, when Yondu died, that was sad too. Yeah. The blue guy?
I wasn't.
That was sad too.
What was his name in Days of Thunder?
He's like, I love you, boy.
Rowdy in Days of Thunder when he died.
I did some Days of Thunder shit on Monday.
Did you here's how bad we're going off on a rant here. Fuck it. We're basically done. Here's how bad Hollywood is.
No, they fuck kids.
Well, besides that.
Enough said.
they're remaking another fucking Maverick is coming out.
Another
a Maverick. Top Gun 3.
Oh, Top Gun. I was say Maverick with Mel Gibson, the fucking riverboat gambling movie.
No. What
How much will you credit me for the boy?
I think I saw this. I don't know if this is a joke or not.
That's a shout out to Casey Rocket.
They're redoing Harley Davidson and the Marble Man.
What fucking muscle bound dude that looks like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast are they going to use this time?
That was Don Johnson
and Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Mickey Rourke looks like he's wearing prosthetics at all times.
He didn't look like that back then.
I remember. He had a little bit of a beat going on.
I forget Aquaman and somebody else.
Jason Momoa. Who would be perfect? Jason Momoa and Jason Statham.
No, I forget.
Jason and Jason.
But anyway, I don't even know if that's true. That could be a fake.
It'll be The Rock.
No.
Or John Cena.
What else are they fucking doing? They're redoing something else.
Moana 2's out on Disney Plus.
They've obviously lost their creativity.
Well, yeah.
Come up with some new shit.
They remade Tron, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The original Tron wasn't good. Neither was the remake.
But the remake was worse.
Yeah. At least the original Tron had an excuse. It was back in the day, and they did a shit job. Or they did an okay job with special effects with what they had.
Yeah, I mean,
it was no Star Wars.
No.
Done in a garage.
Not
by fat dudes that smelled weird.
But I just don't get it. I mean, and TV shows. How many fucking TV shows have basically are being...
Oh, yeah, Hawaii Five-0. Fucking, I'm just waiting for Knight Rider to come back. And what was the one with Hulk Hogan in the boat?
Something Thunder.
Thunderlips?
No.
No, that was his character in Rocky 3.
Paradise Thunder or something like stupid.
He had that stupid fucking boat.
Yeah.
Well, listen, brother.
I
need you to get on the boat because I need your help. Your country is on the wake of a disaster. Because boat puns.
I mean, I think obviously they can't. They've taken away. They're a little scared of kids now, so they've lost their creativity.
Yeah, no, kids are scared of them.
Well, but
rightfully
I'm saying
so.
They're not getting their dose of kids now, so they've lost their creativity.
Which blows my mind. How the fuck is that happening? And you're running out of kids to try to bang and put into movies and TV shows in Hollywood, but they're still getting funneled into the Catholic Church for like a motherfucker.
They never did.
Well, Catholic Church provides snacks.
Didn't they say they were going to release the Epstein files the other day or last week or 2 weeks ago, and that was a big fat nothing burger?
This is because that file probably has nothing in it at this point.
I mean, yeah.
It's probably been shredded and burned.
Yeah, I know.
Because they don't want all those politicians' names that went to his island and fucked kids to be on there.
We're
definitely not getting on any YouTube suggestions after this.
How is that hooker in jail for...
That bitch needs to be dead.
Child sex trafficking to fucking no one.
Yeah. Why hasn't fucking...
anybody been arrested?
Why hasn't Hillary Clinton made her commit suicide yet? Like she did Jeff.
Do you actually believe that? Do you actually think that?
What, that Hillary Clinton killed him?
The Clintons have that kind of kind of power, that kind of pull, I guess.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know.
I don't think it's just them, though. But I think they definitely have the ability to do that. I could do a whole episode.
I don't think they're that fucking smart to pull that shit off.
I could do a whole episode on the massive body count that surrounds the Clintons. There's a lot.
I mean, here's the thing. I like Bill.
I did not have sexual relationships with that woman. I just let her suck my dick.
There's a big difference.
It's not the same.
Hillary, it's not the same.
It's like my daddy told me in Arkansas, eating ain't cheating.
I mean, hey, if I'm the most powerful man on the planet, being the president of the United States, or supposedly most, if you can't use that to get some hoes, who can?
Well, not only that, not only are you the most powerful man in arguably the most powerful country in the world, you're also married to a fucking bridge troll.
Let's just say.
Hey, I will say though, Hillary was an attractive younger woman.
Just stop right there. No, she wasn't.
Compared to now.
I saw pictures of her when she was in law school. Still a fucking trainer.
She's a lot better than she is now.
Well,
she didn't. Neither of them aged gracefully. Both of them look like, you know those fucking titty inserts that women with small boobs have? The like silicone ones? They both look like one of those.
The Wonder Bra?
Yeah, both of those.
I've had some experience with them.
Both of those they both look like one of those that got like microwaved and thrown against the wall and you put some googly eyes on it.
She is a mutant.
And she's a bitch.
Oh, bitch doesn't even begin.
Did you see that, dude? Have you seen the video of Trump talking about the Gulf of America?
No.
Where they zoom in on her? I had a slight new respect and appreciation for Hillary Clinton. He's like, we're going to take the Gulf of Mexico. We're going to rename it the Gulf of America. And like there's a video I saw, they zoom in and she literally is sitting there and starts to like laugh noticeably. And I'm like, all right, I hate you a little less. And you see Bill goes, honey. I'm like, she starts laughing and like turns her face away. And I was like, yeah, I found there's one thing I like about fucking Hillary. This shit was funny.
Here's the thing. No matter what you think about tariffs, I don't give a fuck. But Canada has lost so much fucking face over this shit. Canada, I love you. You make great maple syrup. You play hockey really well. But shut the fuck up. They're talking all bad. Do you see all that shit that the motherfuckers talking about?
Yeah.
And then they back down for like a second time like a bitch.
Is Justin Trudeau still the Prime Minister in Canada? That's your first fucking problem. But Justin Trudeau's a twat waffle.
They talk shit once, they back down. Then they really started talking shit again. And Trump did it again. And those fucking pussies just, if you're going to talk your shit.
Dude, honestly, the way it's Canada, the way they should have handled that whole shit about it's going to be the 51st state, they should have been like,
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is holding a press conference today about the alleged annexation of Canada into the United States.
And he should have gone up there, and if he wanted to do it right, somebody should have said, Prime Minister Trudeau, what's your response to President Trump alleging that Canada may be the 51st state? And he should have just gone and walked off stage.
But it's really about the tariffs that they're bitching about. And they're trying to a little tariff war we got going on. They're gonna fucking lose.
And also,
but here's the thing. Listen, if I start shit with you, if I start running my mouth to you, we're sitting at a bar, say we don't know each other. I start running my mouth to you. What are you going to do? And we don't know each other.
Oh, I'm going to have something to say back to you.
Right. Now, I got one or two choices. I can back the fuck off, which I'm old. I probably do anyway because I can't throw down like I used. I ain't as good as I was.
This isn't worth it.
Okay, so I back off. Then I start doing it a second time.
See, and at that point, it would be the opposite. At that point, if somebody did that, I'd be like, but you're funny, man.
At that point, when you come back at me, if you come back at me, I got to stay my ground. I got to take that ass whooping like a man. I went back for seconds.
Got to do it like Doug Glatt from fucking Goon. He said, hey, Glatt, you try that shit with me, I'll light your ass fuck up. He said, hey, I'll light your ass back up on fire.
But I'm just saying, if you're going to fucking come back a second time and talk shit, okay, you backed yourself in the corner, you're going to have to throw down at this point.
My biggest problem is it's very rare that somebody's going to try to talk shit to me and like gain the upper hand in shit talking. Because as soon as somebody does that to me, I'm looking at them and I'm going through my Rolodex and I'm like, what two celebrities or fictional characters can I say fucked to create this human?
But I forget what the percentage of Canadian residents live south,
more southernly than the majority of the Canadian-U.S. border.
Yeah,
in like Toronto and shit like that.
Like 75% of the
most of Canada is not populated.
Is below our northern border, in
in population density.
So just cut them off. Take that, make that the 51st state. Fuck them.
Or just leave it at 50. Who wants 51? 50 is a nice even number.
And do we really need another state?
Who gives a fuck if we have a 51st state? Why do we give a shit? We already got Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico's not a state.
It's an annexation. They can vote.
But I don't think they can vote.
Can they not?
I don't have to pay taxes.
They use U.S. currency.
Yeah, but I don't think they can actually vote.
Yeah, well, if my tax dollars are going to Trash Island.
Trash, okay. But I don't want them as I don't even want Greenland.
Who does?
It's fucking cold.
Congratulations. We have annexed Greenland. Good job, asshat. We have a fucking volcano now.
And unless there's some minerals and oil and shit there, but they won't let us drill it. The U.S. government won't let us drill it.
And there's a fucking volcano.
Well, there's a fucking volcano in Yellowstone.
Yeah, like a big volcano. No, that's not. Yellowstone's not a volcano.
Yes, it is. It's a super volcano underneath.
I thought it was just like a pressure point.
No, it's a caldera. That is the national park is a caldera.
Oh, we're fucked. Well, I mean, we all know that's going to kill us anyway.
I
mean, not in our lifetime, probably, but eventually.
I think it's actually
because once that goes off, everything else is a lot of other shit's going to go off.
Well,
too.
I think I watched the video because I watch TikTok and learn things. It's just not women, half naked women dancing sometimes.
The internet ain't never told a lie. Just like Bill Clinton and Bill Cosby, actually.
Us here in Ohio, we will survive the initial blast. We will get poured on by ash. What will kill us will be the
nuclear fallout,
the nuclear winter. That's what's going to kill me.
Well, I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere like once that goes off, it'll fuck up the what is it? The subterranean pressure to the point that like a bunch of volcanoes will probably be activated too. Right. So then throw that in the mix.
Yeah, but
and the next thing you know, we got lava sharks.
I think it supposedly goes off every 65,000 years or 650,000 years, something.
And it's been like 649 or like
we're
that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and it seems like we're right there, but it could be another 100,000 years. You know, let's just say I don't want to be in Yellowstone on the Dutton Ranch when that motherfucker goes off.
I don't want to be anywhere within a 10,000 mile radius when that shit goes off.
You're still fucked no matter what.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like going to a party at Bill Cosby's house. Eventually, you're going to get fucked.
Eventually, you're going to get the pipe laid.
The pickup lines that guy must have had once he drugged up those women. They're like, they try to fucking fight back, and he's like, it's called a Jello pudding pop, not a Jello pudding stop.
Who would have thought Rudy's dad could do that? Could have done that.
I know.
America's dad.
Dr. Fuxtable.
I think the signs were there. Oh,
no.
Nobody wears
Eddie Murphy warned us.
Nobody wears that many sweaters.
He's got a fucking Urban Dictionary sex act named after him. The Cosby sweater. It's something like, what is it? It's something like one of the partners like eats a bunch of like Fruity Pebbles and then like throws up on the other one's chest while they're banging, or some shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Welcome to Urban Dictionary.
I don't know. So anything else?
You want a good time? Go on Urban Dictionary and look up the Tallahassee gas mask.
No,
it's gross. It's funny, but it's gross. Or the Alaska pipeline. That one's also disgusting.
This was my last UFO episode for a while.
It's hard to really get a good one.
I mean, that's
because it's like you can talk about it till you're blue in the face, but then when people are like, any evidence, you're like, no, not really.
Unless something pops off new, I think I'm done with the UFOs. Now, conspiracy theories, I'm gonna fuck them right in the ass.
Well, next week we'll be talking about fucking Aaron from Ghost Adventures and his harlot of a wife.
That's what I'm telling.
What is he at? Has he come out and said anything about it?
I don't know right offhand.
He won't.
I know.
He'll have Zach Bagans say it.
Zach did make a comment.
He'll come out and he'll be like,
is that show even still fucking on?
Yeah. There's like fucking 4 versions of it.
How in the fuck is that show still on?
Have you been on Discovery Plus lately?
No.
There's like fucking 6 different versions of Ghost Adventures. There's Ghost Adventures, there's like Ghost Adventures International or some shit. There's the Scream Room or whatever the fuck, where they basically just over COVID sat in a fucking room and watched their old episodes. There's House Calls, which is basically,
I think I've seen House Calls.
Literally just ghost adventures in a house
that they could get called by the client, right?
Yeah, it's basically Paranormal State just with a higher budget.
I mean,
I heard that guy was a fucking piece of shit.
Oh yeah,
Ryan from Paranormal State.
Yeah,
I've heard bad things about him.
Yeah, I think he got in trouble. I think he's in jail, isn't he?
Probably.
Yeah.
He probably touched the wrong butthole. That's usually what takes him down.
Because what's her name joined up with Nick from the old Ghost Adventures and did that, which wasn't a bad show. Where they'd actually spend the night, sleep and everything in a place. It was actually a pretty good show.
But they got blackballed because of Ghost Adventures. That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard that Ghost Adventures and Zach Bagans has sabotaged every major project that he's tried to do since he left.
Well, Zach Bagans is a cockbag.
Oh, he's definitely
And I would say that to his fucking face.
Well, I mean, yeah, what's he going to do? He's just going to talk slow at you. You're a cockbag. I understand what you're saying.
We've spent years building our credibility. Well,
but if you would prefer, for the benefit of my bank account and that of my team, because my team and I love my team, let me talk about my team. I feel we should have this conversation in the most haunted home in Namibia.
I'm just
Cue
saying,
Ghost Adventures music.
Dumbass neck tattoo on the back.
He has a neck tattoo? Oh, it's like a cross on his shoulders that comes up on his neck, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's straight bitch.
Stop running. That's all I hear.
Fuck him.
See, I used to want to make fun of his glasses, but I guess if he does actually have a condition, I won't make fun of his glasses.
Because of the Demon House.
It was. Which I will say,
wasn't a bad show. I'll give it credit. It wasn't.
That documentary?
It wasn't bad.
That shit was creepy at the end.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking creepy. It was probably fake, but it was creepy. And the best acting he's probably ever done. When he fucking chucked that, I don't know if it was a recorder or what, when he threw it into the hallway and he was like, back the fuck up. I was like, this is the best. If this is acting, this is the best acting I've ever seen him do.
My problem.
We're basically watching Paranormal Activity with a lower budget.
My problem with him is always, might be the biggest pussy on the planet. He is possessed at the drop of a fucking hat.
Oh, his whole crew is. Did you see the one where what's his fuck was like, I've never drank on an investigation, but I want to drink that whiskey right now. Have you seen that shit?
No.
They put like a shot of whiskey out as like a trigger item. And like Billy, whatever the fuck his name is, he just went off on this thing. He's like, I want to drink that. Dude, I want to drink that whiskey. And I'm like, that's just because you can't stand the people that you spend your day around.
And I'm sorry if I was Aaron. I feel sorry for Aaron.
Especially now. You think they'll stop making him go into the scary rooms now that his wife tried to fucking kill him?
They fuck him every time.
Somebody's got to do it. Clearly, his wife didn't want to.
They give him all the shit jobs.
Yeah, they're like, Aaron, you know that room where everybody's been violently eviscerated within 5 minutes of walking inside of it? You're sleeping there tonight. But shut the fuck up, Aaron. Turn the cameras off, Billy.
I mean, if I was Aaron, I would have beat his ass a long time ago.
I know, like Zach, like he's like kind of big, but he's not. I don't.
It's hard to tell.
I don't see him being very intimidating.
He's probably about my height, your height.
Well, like he's kind of built, but like I don't see him as being intimidating. Like if he was like motherfucker, I'd be like,
what dating show was he on?
He was on a dating show?
Yeah, he was on a dating show, was it?
How awkward was that?
Oh, he was fucking...
My name's Rebecca.
No, it wasn't a dating show. It was Wheel of Fortune.
He was on Wheel of Fortune?
Yes, Google that shit or YouTube that shit.
Did he only guess the letters G, H, O, and S, T, and T?
Him and his sister were on it.
He has a sister?
Yeah, I think so. I think him. Google that shit.
Was it Aaron?
Hold on a minute. I'll Google it. Fuck it. We got nothing to do here.
I'm faster. In 1998.
Okay, you found it already.
No way.
I'm serious. Would I lie to you?
Oh, look at him. Oh my God. What a fucking nerd.
You tell me that fucker didn't get beat up in high school a lot.
Oh my God. He looks like... Well, he looks like a schmool-schmooter, first off.
Yes.
He looks like he is on the alumni list of Columbine. And he also kind of looks like the pre-story version of like... Oh, you know what he looks like? He looks like if they made a prequel to one of the Joker movies, it would be him. He's the Joker in high school. No, you know what he looks like? He looks like the Thin Man from fucking Charlie's Angels. Fuck, what's his name? God damn it.
Oh,
Topher or something, or
the
something.
bald guy.
No, he had hair.
Oh, I'm thinking of the guy always plays like a creepy.
He was also he ran the orphanage in Like Mike with Bow Wow. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I would not watch a Bow Wow movie.
This guy.
Oh, Dad from Back to the Future.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's what he looks like. He looks like a young him.
Yeah, that is dead nuts.
With Backstreet Boys hair. I'm finding that whole episode and watching it now. I'm like, what a nerd. I will say the best thing that I will have to give Ghost Adventures is that one time when I was wondering if any of the major ghost hunting shows had ever farted on an investigation and included it in an episode, they have, and they did.
Props.
It was fun. It's pretty funny. He did. He just ripped ass in the middle of it, and they're like, if this place isn't haunted, you are.
Funny story. And then we'll go out to the story. First time I ever went on an investigation.
You farted?
No.
I took a shit the first time you and I went on one.
We were sitting there doing an EVP session, and it was at Rawls Opera House in the auditorium. There's I had a recorder. Everybody had a recorder. We were taking turns doing our thing, asking questions. It was in a group, probably 5 of us. And I'm sitting in, their theater style seats, old theater style seats. And I'm sitting there with my recorder like this.
And you can hear your stomach growl.
Growling. And so he said, let's hear your tape. I was like, I don't want to. So I played it, and he said, oh, what was that? I said, that was a lack of a cheeseburger.
I was going to say, realistically, a scenario like that is the perfect opportunity for a fart. Especially, you're just like, everybody's like, shh, we have to be quiet so we can hear anything. And then, especially if you start getting some activity or some answers and people start getting a little fired up and maybe a little scared, you just... I don't know.
I might get on that old computer. I might still have those tapes, that recording. It was fucking hilarious. Good mic. It picked that shit up.
That'd be a dangerous statement if you were a politician or worked in Hollywood. I might still have those tapes.
I keep everything. All right. That's about fucking it. I don't know. You're doing next week. Any idea what you're going to do next week?
Nope. Not a clue. Haven't the foggiest.
Okay. But like I said, I'm not going to... I think my next episode in a couple weeks... might be more. I might try to find something paranormal, but
I say we haven't done anything else.
Or something.
Well, yeah, we have.
Maybe like near-death experiences and shit, or something like that. I don't know.
I've got a list,
but I do have another conspiracy, like government fucking us in the anus story to do. But I'm gonna save it a little too close to
just all of them.
A little too close to our Charlie Manson episode. So I don't know. I'll try to whip up something paranormal in a couple weeks. I'll give it a shot.
You think we'd get hit with copyright infringement if we brewed a beer and called it MK Ultra?
I don't know if the government has a patent on that.
I'd be more worried about Michelob.
Do they have it? I don't think
it's Mick Ultra. But we make MK Ultra, and the logo's like a fucking vulture instead of an eagle.
You remember the old... You're not old. Back when I was in high school and spring break, the big thing was shirts, like Budweiser shirts, but they weren't... It said something different, like Fat Ass Club, or,
yeah,
but it looked
it's still a thing.
Is it still a thing?
Yeah. Like the FBI, female body inspector, just dumb shit.
We ought to do that theme with a Mick Ultra...
But
logo.
Ultra, that's a good idea.
Make a shirt. We ought to do that.
That's a good idea. Branding ideas. We should have kept that to ourselves.
Nobody's listening to this shit anyway.
2 people are. Shut the fuck up.
Keep our secret. We'll cut you in.
Be Aaron to our
listening,
Zach.
Still listening. Say something in the comments. We'll cut you into the profits. It'll be
because there won't be any.
It'll be at least 25 cents. I guarantee.
I don't think that we've sold a piece of merchandise since I came onto this podcast.
I don't even know how to get on. I think I forgot that password too.
We might have to fucking start a new one. Could fire up some designs. Got to get people to listen.
Hey, we got...
Or we make a couple and we do giveaways on like Instagram.
Well, I'm going to start trying to get back to doing the shorts.
I think we should do that. We should make up some merchandise of some sort and do a couple giveaways on Instagram.
Okay, we can do that.
All right. We out of here?
We're fucking done.
I kind of got to pee. Definitely got to fart.
Well,
after all that fart talk.
Okay, we're out of here. Take care.